thing that cost me so much money was me being too smart. Okay. Me being too smart. Now let me explain that. That doesn't mean that I have like a super high IQ and it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe my parents gave me such good genes. No, I've never been accused. I've never been accused of being a super too smart. Okay. What I mean by that is being too smart in I knew that this was working. I knew that something was working and I was too smart to just do it again, right? Instead of just being simple and basic and saying, hey, this worked, let me just do it again and again and again and again. I got too smart. I thought, well, you know what? Let me try and do, it worked. That worked, but why, let me do this. Or, I got a deal for $700 per month, my very first deal, and it was a flat fee deal, actually. The irony is that my very first deal, guys, was a flat fee deal. It was in the wrong niche. It was in towing, but it was a flat fee deal for $700 a month. And guess what I did on my next deal? A pay per lead deal, right? I had the deal. It was working, but why, like, let me be too smart and I started getting too smart, right? I started saying too much. I started going into too many niches. I started offering too many services. I started thinking, I was too smart. And then I heard this advice. Somebody said to me, um, if you've gotten a deal for $1,000 a month, why haven't you done that 100 times? And it was such a simple thing that they said. And I was like, yeah, why haven't I? And I have gotten a deal for $1,000 a month. So why don't I just get rid of everything else and just go get 100 of those? And that was a very great moment for me because it clicked. I was like, I'm being too smart. I need to simplify. I need to be more basic. I need to be more simple. John Wooden, baby. John Wooden, every single year, he talked about the fundamentals. He would talk about just the basic stuff. And that's because that's what wins basketball games. So in that same realm, a lot of times I see people get a deal or for those of you that are in my program, there's a couple of you guys that are in my program. The process is there. The recipe is there. The model, the blueprint is there. Don't get too smart. I'm not saying that I'm the most genius in the world, but if it works, then why are we trying to change it? Once you get to your 10K, 15K, 20K, you want to go and try and flip the model on its head like I did, that's cool. But if you know that something's working, just do it until you get to a comfortable spot and then you can start worrying about it. So let me go through this again, guys. Here's the 5 things that have cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars. 5 mistakes. Number 1 is not having my due diligence dialed in. Number 2 is doing pay per lead instead of flat fee. Number 3 is obsessing over obscure niches instead of just sticking with the boring ones. Number 4 is listening to the wrong people and not listening to the people that were at the place I wanted to be. In my defense, I didn't know anyone at that place. You guys do. You know somebody that's made at least $100,000 per month for years. So that's a good start. Okay. And if there's somebody that's made more than me, then go listen to them. Okay. And then number 5, guys, is being too smart, not being simple. There is so much power in being simple. There is so much growth that happens in being simple. And that's in every area. I'll share this last example, and then if you guys have Q&A, I want you guys to start dropping. I'm gonna have Aaron go through it. But guys, this is even true. I kind of went through this period where I simplified everything. I simplified my business. I'm constantly trying to do that, right? And this happened to me with fitness too. This in early 2022, I decided, you know what? No, was it 2022? It was 2023. I'm sorry. I decided, this is going to be the year. I was 31 or 32. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember, whatever. And I was like, I want to be in the best shape of my life. I want to be less than 10% body fat. I want to, look like this, whatever. And so I went out and I was like, I'm going to find the person that has the body I want, that's my age, that doesn't do steroids, all the things. I want to make sure that they were as close to me as possible, and I'm going to go and pay them. And I found the person. I asked them how much they charge. They said 20 grand. They don't do this. They said they usually just sell their program, but they'll do the one-on-one coaching. It's 20 grand. And I paid 20 grand for 6 Zoom calls. Okay. Anyway, long story short, the craziest part about that whole process is that it worked, and it worked miraculously. And to this day, I've never been in better shape. And here's what's crazy. The training regimen that he gave me and the diet plan that he gave me and the entire schedule of everything that he gave me was so simple that I didn't believe him. I was working out since I was 18. I've been working out 6 days a week, doing different muscle groups, two muscles, one muscle, all kinds of different stuff, then doing cardio on the weekends. And he's like, dude, you need to lift 3 times a week. And on top of that, you're only going to lift 5 lifts on those 3 days. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to gain weight. He's like, okay, well then don't change anything. Follow this nutrition and do this. And I promise you guys it worked and it blew my freaking mind. It was like I've had to put in less effort mentally and honestly physically than I ever have. When I do it as hard as I can, but it is my plan is so simple. I can text it to you like in this. The amount of workouts I do is so simple. I can do it with just a basic garage gym. Okay. That's the power and simplicity.